Mary Von Sproul. I chose to do a close reading of the poem Smart by Shel Silverstein. This poem could be used when teaching money or worth. I'm going to be reading it as a mathematician. So, Smart by Shel Silverstein. My dad gave me $1 bill, 'cause I'm his smartest son. So right there, I see the word cause instead of because, and I think that the author uses this word to help the writing flow, and it also gives the narrator personality or persona, and it gives the narrator a sense of confidence. So I already know that this is a confident person that's talking about this poem. And I swapped it for two shiny quarters, 'cause two is more than one. So I know that two is more than one usually. But I notice that the narrator started with a dollar bill, which is 100 pennies, or 4 quarters, or 10 dimes, etc. So he had $1 and he swapped it for 2 quarters, because 2 is more than 1. But I know that a dollar is made of 4 quarters. And so now the narrator went from having 100 cents to 50 cents. Okay? And then I took the quarters and traded them to Lou for 3 dimes. I guess he don't know that 3 is more than 2. So once again, I noticed that the narrator started with $1, and then he had 50 cents. Now he has traded his 2 quarters for 3 dimes, because 3 is more than 2, but 3 dimes is 30 cents. So once again, he has lost money. So I feel like he's very confident, but he's not getting the worth part of the money. He's just looking at the numbers. So we'll continue. Just then, along came old blind Bates. And just 'cause he can't see, he gave me 4 nickels for my 3 dimes. And 4 is more than 3. So once again, our narrator is still focusing on quantity of numbers. So 4 is more than 3. But I know that the number 4 is more than 3, but 4 nickels makes 20 cents. And before, we remembered that he had 30 cents because he had 3 dimes. So once again, the narrator has lost money. So we'll go back to the text. And I took the nickels, his 20 cents, to Hiram Coombs down at the seed feed store. And that fool gave me 5 pennies for them, and 5 is more than 4. So I'm noticing throughout this poem that he just continues to focus on those numbers more than how much his money is actually worth. So 5 is more than 4, yes, that's true, but 5 pennies is only 5 cents. Our narrator once again has lost money. And he also, I noticed that he used the word fool to describe Hiram Coombs. But really, who is being the fool? He thinks he's very smart in that he's fooling all these people by trading with them. But really, he went from having 100 cents, and now he has 5. And then I went and showed my dad, and he got red in the cheeks and closed his eyes and shook his head, too proud of me to speak. So when I read this part, I go back to think how this narrator started with 100 cents, 1 whole dollar, and now he's down to 5 cents. And he says his father is just so proud of him, red in the cheeks, closed his eyes, shaking his head. What he doesn't realize yet that he has lost all the worth of his dollar. He only has 5 cents, and his father is maybe a little angry or upset that he doesn't realize what he's done. So it's a funny poem, of course, but I would also think as I read this that sometimes accepting quantity instead of quality can end up being a negative for you. And I just think this would be a fun way to kind of work with students and show them money and the worth of money and how things they aren't always as they seem. So this is my close reading. Thanks.